Hey everyone, Corey here from the Techies, and today I'm here to bring you an exciting video. This is our 300th video. Also, we just hit 4,000 subscribers, so it's a pretty memorable video, and it's not going to be just another boring tutorial. What I thought I'd do is kind of go over all of the things that the Techies has. So previously, Ben, or the Hedgeman, made a content overview video, just basically going over the kind of things that we do. And so I wanted to touch on that just a little bit as well. So the first thing is, obviously, if you're watching this video, you're aware of the Techies YouTube channel. So a couple things have changed. We do our normal video tutorials on different softwares and programming and things like that, but we also do a podcast, and it's called the Apocalypse Rescheduled podcast. At this point, we're at 19 episodes. We've had a couple guests on there. Each episode runs about 2 hours. We sometimes come out with a highlight video that's a little bit shorter that gives you a preview of what the actual podcast show is. So we really want you to check it out. It's a lot of fun to do. We think it's pretty funny, in our opinion. We shared with some people. So guys, if you have the time, if you can, please check out the Apocalypse Rescheduled podcast show. It's uploaded weekly. We do one every week, and sometimes we do a highlight video. So that's the first major thing, is please to check that out. So we have kind of branched out into a lot of different things. The Techies now is forming more into like a project-based things. We want to work more with different projects. We're starting to try to develop some actual hardware for different camera mounts and stuff like that. And we're also trying to get it more into film. So if you've seen stuff like Coast to Coast or Denizen or Last Entry or Final Entry, stuff like that. So we're trying to get more into that. So you'll probably start seeing a little bit more into that. We have another project in the works. It's a documentary. If you've listened to the podcast show, then you know a little bit about it. You may have heard about it a little bit, but stay tuned for that. That's going to be kind of like a multi-part series over a couple weeks or a couple months that we're going to start rolling out here going into the new year. So that's the YouTube channel. That's kind of where we're at. We're still here. We're still doing stuff. We're still having a good time. So the website, we redid it a little bit. We added this nice little slider here. That's a link that kind of shows you the big things that we do. We have a nice little pretty graphic here. We try to keep this somewhat up to date. So the podcast is hosted here. We have our main podcast channel. This is where you can actually listen to the podcasts here earlier than if you were on the YouTube channel. They'll be posted here first. So there's that. If you want to contact us for any reason, maybe you want us to help you out, work with you, do a sponsored video, stuff like that, we are very open and are very willing to work with you. So this is our production company, stuff like that. So that's the website. It's kind of our hub. This is where things happen. All right, so more about the website is that we have a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of things that we do like to do on the side, just for fun, mini projects, stuff like that. So the first thing is a semi-legit thing. It's Pure Pixel, so we're into photography, we're into film, stuff like that. So this is just a place where you can see some of our work, find a little bit more about us. Ben, the Hedgeman, is not really on here. He doesn't really do too much photography, but we have another photographer. Her name is Melissa. She's very good. You can see some of her work here, and you can contact her if you want her to do some work. I'd rather you contact her than me. She's better than me. And so if you have any photography work you want to do, contact her, and she'll probably be willing to help you. So that's our website here. Check it out. Pretty site. It's kind of up to date. We're still working on trying to getting the format right, but if anything, you can see some pretty pictures that I've taken, that Melissa's taken, stuff like that. So moving on to a little bit less serious is the Fune base. So you'll probably know what this is, again, if you've listened to any of the podcast. We make a lot of inside jokes. So the Fune base was both a Techies project and kind of just a fun thing that we do. And it's basically just a database where we keep all of our inside jokes. Things are explained here. If you go up to catalog, you can kind of see, who is the Fune K? Who is the Iceman? All these things that we say during the podcast. If you, for some weird reason, want to know what they are, you can go here and find out. Learn a little bit more about the lore of the podcast show and the lore of, the hosts, Ben, Thomas, and I. So this was also a project that I created a search engine based on a database. It has an input form. It has, security, stuff like that. So I'm going to be probably touching a little bit more on this in future tutorials. But again, if you want to learn about how to do this kind of thing, there's a tutorial and there's a video somewhere on the YouTube channel about this project, and I've explained it and I've talked about it, and I'm going to continue to make more on it in the future. So that's that. Go ahead and read up on the Funke. He's a pretty cool guy. He will eventually be your president in 2020 or whatever the hell it is. So there's that. And don't take it too seriously. It's mostly just garbage. All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the three of us. So I have my own personal. This is going back to a little bit more serious. I have my own personal resume here. It talks about, if you want to know for some reason who I am, what I do, like on a professional level, what I studied in school, all that stuff. It's here. Or if you want to hire me and I'll help you, be a contractor or whatever, you can go here. It's just my name.thetechies.com. All these websites will be in the description. Ben has one as well. This is his website. Very beautiful. It just has the favicon icon, and yeah, there's Ben's website. Calling you out there, Ben. All right, and the final one is Thomas. He has his own. He's actually a web developer, so we talk a lot of shit about Thomas, but he's actually a pretty cool guy, and he's into web development. So if you have web development questions, honestly, you need to go to him. He's good at what he does, and he's very competent, and he's been doing it for a long time. So don't come to me or Ben. Go to Thomas. Send him a message here, or I'll direct you to him if you have some website you want to have redone, or if you want to have something done from scratch. He'll do it for really cheap. So there's that. There's your shout out, Thomas. Now to go and shit on him. This is Thomas Makes Faces. So this was conceived in a relatively recent podcast. He actually bought this live on the show, and so the idea here is that Ben and we just take an absurd amount of pictures of Thomas pretty much all the time. He just has a very memeable face, and he gets mad. I mean, look at that beautiful face. Look how memeable it is. So we just take pictures of him, and there's so many, in fact, that we've decided to put it on a website, and so this is his website, and it's just pictures of Thomas. Go on here, make it your homepage. There's probably a tutorial pretty soon on how to make your a website a desktop background, so feel free to make it your desktop background. Have a good laugh. It won't ever get updated. If it gets updated, he'll just put ads on it because he's that terrible of a person. But go on here, have a laugh. He's not really a real human being, so you don't really have to feel bad about it if you laugh at him. Just kidding, Thomas, but only a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can look at these new Fune faces. Eventually, you'll have Fune facts, and again, all of this stuff that I'm saying that doesn't make any sense is fine. Listen to the podcast, and you'll start to understand, what we're about, and you'll have a good time. And so that's it, guys. That's our 300th video. Nothing too fancy. Just wanted to go over kind of where we're at. And I guess thanks for 4,000 for subscribers, for people continuing to watch. If you want like a specific tutorial on something, or if you're having trouble, always comment. We're actually getting pretty good at responding to comments and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for 4,000, and look forward to some great content in 2017. Thanks, guys. Bye.